At this point, we are supposed to do the panel discussion. If you have any questions at all for any of our speakers, then we will proceed with our panel discussion. Questions? Dr. Aquino, you want to come up front? They can't hear you.
This is all about the census. Are we able to extract the raw data? Because there are Filipino academicians who can do a lot more with that raw data from the census, if we can, of course.
When you say raw data is the individual, no, it's the census, it's really the aggregate data is what is published, not individual. But there are different ways that you can extract, the data that you might need. And it will be available on the census webpage. Sure.
Any other questions, comments?
So I just saw a tweet from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So a lot of the history talked about some of the discriminatory laws in the past. So I don't know how many of you know, I think it was mentioned by a couple speakers. Right now, the U.S. has a 7% quota on green cards per country per year, which because of all the IT workers that come in, if you're from India, it's going to take you 54 years before you get a green card. So they're trying to fix that, but the bill that's apparently almost about to pass the Senate, already passed the House, will help solve the Indians' problem, will not help the Filipinos and everybody else at all. So you might want to check out what that bill is about, and there's some movement. I think the hospital and the nursing associations are trying to get that fixed.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't help the Indians, but penalize the Filipinos and others.
And this is going through very quietly, and so it's really important.
Hearings at all.
No hearings, no public hearings. So this bill is an attempt to help like the Indian citizens who are in a very big backlog. But by removing the per country quotas, it's essentially going to help them for a year or two, but then everyone's going to be backlogged for 10 years. And so for immigration law, it's really going to impact the way we do immigration for those who are trying to get through the green card process. Because the green card process, if it's family-based, it's usually a little bit faster, but employment-based, it can be very slow if you're one from these backlog countries, India, China. But if this release of this quota per country gets passed, it's going to impact immigration for the U.S., for everybody coming to the U.S. So it is important to know it, to understand it. It may be passed. It's still being held up. And we won't know until they actually pass it. There's going to be some no harm provisions to try to help people who've been already in the system for a little bit. They might have an I-140 approved under employment-based or an I-130 approved. But essentially, if this bill goes through, it's going to make immigration a lot more complicated, a lot slower for everyone coming to the U.S.
Can I say something about the Philippines? Because for the Filipino nurses, because it affects us, that's Bill 386. I'm talking with the Secretary of Senator Perdue. It's being on hold right now, and we're still fighting for that. So the Philippine Nurses Association of of America, the PNAA, is fighting for that. So it's being on hold right now.
Any other questions? Comments?
From the perspective of an attendee coming this afternoon, I personally learned so much about Filipino Americans in Georgia and the United States, and I'm already a student of history. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers, to commend Jane Rowland for your leadership, and of course, the Ling Foundation Executive Director Tony Daya Ludgers, and the sponsorship of Makabayan, Georgia, and our host this afternoon, Metro South, and of course, all the supporting organizations and all the speakers and all the attendees this afternoon. With that being said, my question is, how do you replicate this kind of a forum, this kind of a symposium for greater I guess, information sharing, knowledge sharing with not only Filipino-American groups, but other, I guess, interested groups or individuals in Metro Atlanta. I'll turn it over to you, Jane. Thank you.
Here are my thoughts about that. This program and project cannot be done by one person. And that's the reason when they say, well, congratulations, and I'm saying it's a team effort. I couldn't have done that myself. Tony couldn't have, but Tony worked herself really day in and day out. And while I'm here working at work and while, on the side looking at my email and doing the work for this at night, but she just did it, a lot of it. And of course, we have our team from Galing Foundation, Grace, Isa, Fran, everybody did something. And I'm not only talking about Galing, we did the legwork, but the inspiration, the push, the encouragement came from Willie Blanco when I first mentioned it in Philam Pinoy, Atlanta Pinoy. Makabayan, when they heard about it, they were like, go for it. We only had 2 weeks to prepare when we first came up with this idea, mid-September. But Tony just took the ball and went running. So let's give her a big hand. And everyone, of course, all the other associations, as soon as the news came out, hey, Atlanta Pinoy, Makabayan, Pawag, Saranay, Damayan, everybody. We sent letters. I asked for the list from somebody. I started typing those letters to invite them first, then to ask them to bring food, and then to ask them for money. So we were like asking everybody, and it's so overwhelming, so heartwarming that everybody responded in a very positive manner. So again, like I said, this is not a job that can be done by one person, but a team effort. So for next year and the years to come, count on it. We will be coming knocking on your door and asking you to do more. With that, yes, ma'am.
I'll speak whenever you're done.
Yes, ma'am.
Just want to let you know, we really listen to associations of different states. And one thing here is with Attorney Ryan Ramos, is one of my our legal counsel with NAFA, National Federation of Filipino Association. I have our NAFA chair, Melvin, and he lives, they are from Savannah, Georgia. And just want to let you know also, October 3rd of next year, we're going to have a regional conference in Savannah, Georgia. And it's going to be, you can just drive there and enjoy Georgia, the southern comfort. But we're here for you too, so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, and we really, really appreciate your presence.
One more thing. Melvin, could you speak about the nurses that just came to Savannah? There are how many of them that were hired and went to your town?
Yes, in our city of Savannah, nursing company have contracted about 67 nurses. So it's a joy and a hope that our Filipino population in Savannah is growing, and I know that it should be growing all throughout Georgia as well, because there's always a shortage going on, especially in nursing, in education, and in a lot of the professional jobs that are out there. And also all the non-traditional jobs that are out there. I fall kind of outside of that because I follow being a number cruncher. And there's a lot of people in hospitality as well, serving in the hotels and hospitals, serving food, making food. So it's always a joy that we get to see this kind of growth. So we're thankful for everybody who makes these things possible. We want to encourage a lot of the Filipino owned and operated businesses out there to keep doing this growth. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Cadlahan. I come as part of this one. I'm also the editor-in-chief of our local Filipino Association of Coastal Georgia. And with regards to the nurses, I wanted to follow up on what Melvin said. This company, in exchange for these nurses being willing to come from the Philippines, and a few were in New Zealand, in exchange for them being willing to come and taking a slightly lower salary, I don't know how much, they are automatically receiving green cards.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of cool, right? I was like, that's a good idea. But this company, they bring them in, they fly them in, and they host them for 10 days. But after that, because they'll have a green card, they have to find their own apartments, their own cars right away. So they're moving into apartments with absolutely nothing except the clothes that they brought in the suitcase, you know. And so that's actually one thing that our association is trying to do to support them. Anything new or gently used that any of our local Filipinos have that they can give. And we've been meeting needs, everything from toaster ovens to children's clothes to everything. And that's been a privilege for us to support them in that way. We also recently had, and I can't say the word properly in Tagalog without making a fool of myself, but like a welcoming party. We had a party at Lake Mare, which is in Savannah, and it was a beautiful day. It was in September, and it was simply to bring these nurses in and all of our members to come. It was not a paid event. You just potluck, as they say, potluck to say welcome. We welcome you. We want you here. We want you in the association. And one thing our association did is to help incorporate them with their fellow Filipinos and Filipinas. Is we automatically issue each one a free membership to our association for 1 year to get them incorporated into their local association and to help them adjust to life in Savannah. And we're also seeking out families to sort of adopt each one of these Filipino or Filipina nurses to help them answer questions about assimilation and to feel more comfortable as well. But something we're also trying to watch for is with regard to discrimination in the workplace, because they are this, you know, one thing you know about Filipino nurses, they are great, they are hardworking, their patients always feel the best, and we don't want that to go, shall we say, unappreciated or unrespected as well. So just a little follow-up to what Melvin was saying. Like I say, I'm an honorary Filipina, obviously. That's what the kids at our church call us, because we go to a primarily Filipino church as well. So I'm just honorary, but I'm happy to be welcomed as part of the symposium today. And actually, the symposium is something that we had in Savannah as well. We did it in conjunction with Georgia State University in their Office of International Affairs. And they actually facilitate us, they support us, they actually help market us. So in terms of future events, you might want to partner with a university that can assist you with things like locations and things like that. But of course, universities frequently need a lot of notice. They have to think about things for a while, which of course you didn't have that advantage this time.
Right.
But you've put together a beautiful event. I certainly enjoyed being here today. The drive was well worth it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much.